What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Ham and Spam Retro Review, the show where two lifelong friends replay the games from our childhood, see if they stand the test of time.
Check us out online at hamandspam.com, where you can find links to our social media, including Twitter, where it's at hamandspam1,
Instagram at Ham and Spam Games,
and search us on Facebook, Ham and Spam Retro Review,
and coming soon to YouTube.
eventually. Thanks for listening.
Hope you enjoy the show. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Ham and Spam Retro Review.
What's up?
We are Ham
Ooh, a
and
piece
Spam.
of candy.
Piece of candy.
Yeah, I dropped some candy corn earlier. How about it's almost like my favorite time of the year.
Yes.
So the fall and the candy and the football. Ooh, another piece of candy. So
And-
I
and
dropped
the
some candy
pumpkins.
corn. I dropped some candy corn earlier in the floor, like 5 minutes ago, and I'm eating.
That's
it
a
off the
foul
floor.
right there. That stuff's too precious to waste.
Well, it spilled out of the jar when I was trying to get the pumpkins out.
Yeah, got the candy corn, the Indian corn, which is the chocolate.
Can you say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It says on the pack.
Okay, we'll go with it.
Got it from you got it. It's Brock's.
Yeah,
By the way, is the brand.
it's branches, isn't it?
Whatever. Anyway, and the mellow cream. I think it's mellow cream pumpkins, which
Amazing,
are magical.
magical. Tastes nothing like pumpkins, but
Not at
it
all.
makes me like pumpkins even more.
Yes, and you know how much I love pumpkins.
Yeah, you go basic white girl at this
I
time
do, man.
of year.
I love,
Everything's pumpkin everything.
I love me some pumpkin spice.
So, anyway, before we got sidetracked on candy corn, welcome to the Ham and Spam Retro Review. We are now officially at drinking age, I guess, on the podcast as we cover episode 21.
Yes, Vanta Uno.
Look at you, Hammy.
Yo,
What's our game this week?
I have no idea. No.
Well, we just played it, so you should know.
It's Driver.
The original
PS1.
driver for the original OG PlayStation.
Yep.
Fantastic game. I remember playing this way long ago. 99 is when it come out.
I remember, we would swap systems every now and then. You'd
Yep.
get mine 64, get your PS1.
Mm-hmm.
This was one of the 3 games that I always wanted to borrow.
And I don't want to spoil the episode, but Hammy never really played this game. He just drove around.
Yeah, I just did the free play.
Yeah.
I was mesmerized by driving around.
Well, I mean, it was fantastic. It was really ahead of its time.
Yeah,
really, if you think about.
Which I did the same with GTA 4. I just wanted to drive around.
Yeah, I remember playing online. We got to tell that story.
Oh,
we
yeah.
want to tell that story at a GTA review. Or,
Yeah, we'll do a GTA review.
Okay. All right.
Because there's a lot in that story.
A whole lot.
A whole lot of VVVVWVV.
No one's gonna get that except for Casey.
Yeah.
So yeah, we hooked up the OG PlayStation, and what I mean by that is PlayStation 2, and what was that?
Saw someone screaming. Isn't your kid playing Rainbow Six?
Probably he's probably screaming
That's
because
it.
he got banned the other day from his microphone. He was playing
By you?
no, like by the system, by the servers.
How?
He was playing and somebody killed him, and he got on the mic and just called him an a-hole. And they banned him. Well, they banned his mic. He couldn't communicate. He could well, hold on. So he was on his mic and he called him an a-hole. Well, that guy I guess reported him. So he got kicked off for 24 hours from mic chat. Well, I walked into the room after he's already mad, and I thought, "What's wrong?" I said, "You're mad? You're in here shouting? What's going on?" He said, "I got banned because some guy killed me, and I called him an a-hole." And he said, "But I'm going to get him back right here." So I saw him texting. He's typing a message to the guy, and I said, Do you just want to be banned from your microphone for 24 hours? You want to have your Xbox Live taken away? He's like, oh, this could get my Xbox Live taken away. It's like, yeah, they'll ban your account.
What kind of message was he typing?
I don't know.
Well, what's getting me is Maze gets banned from microphone.
Right.
Yet Alex never did.
That's what I told him. I said, "Bud, we're in a different time." I said, because when we played Halo 3 and
oh my gosh, the things Alex would say to those people.
There's the things that everybody would say. I think that just back in the day, and that was 360, not 1. So there might have been a little different setup, but I don't think
that was before parties.
Right.
You were just in the lobby.
Right.
You trash talk before the match. You trash talk after
the match.
No one did it better than Alex.
Veto. You stupid bleep, 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 veto.
Oh, man. Let me tell you what.
Oh, gosh.
Stuff he said would make anyone
I can't
blush.
wait. I cannot wait to do Halo 3. We've got to get Alex on here.
Yes.
There'll be a lot of Mario coins in that episode, though.
Yeah.
So, God, I'm just rushed back right now with memories. Like, goodness, there's nothing about that story that I can tell right now.
But it's funny because Maze gets banned, but Alex doesn't. But at the same time, how soft have we gotten as a society?
As a society, yeah, exactly. Well, and that was the thing too. Like I told Maze, I said, yeah, before you were born or about the time you were born when we were playing a lot, I said, we said way worse things. I said, but now I guess the way everything's set up, they can just report you. And it's like no questions asked. You're banned.
So that takes the fun out of it.
It does, but I guess that's why you try to meet up with some actual friends online and play, and then y'all can trash talk each other.
Oh yeah,
because we would do that too. So anywho, so back to Driver. It's a game, and you drive.
Really?
End of episode. No, I do remember playing this game way long ago. One of my best friends growing up, JJ, had it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and I hope Jason never listens to this, but my cousin Jason,
yeah,
he had it. Well, he borrowed JJ's and he scratched it up really, really bad.
Oh,
and these were the times like when PlayStation games got scratched up really, really easy. It's got the black back on it. And anyway, like 2 months later, Jason loved that game so much that he ended up scratching JJ's, but he ended up getting the game like a month or two later. So one day, Jason spent the night with a friend, and we walked over to his house, and we swapped copies of the game.
Oh, wow.
So I hope he's not listening. So he ended up with a scratched up copy that would not work. And I ended up JJ ended up with that one. So
wow.
And then I bought that one, the one that we played the other day. I bought it some years ago. So yeah, Jason, if you happen to listen to this podcast, which I hope you don't, sorry. You scratch his game first, though. Turnabout, buddy. Turnabout.
I mean, it kind of is, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, well, eye for an eye.
Glad N64 had the cartridges.
Well, you got that point, too. Well, I mean, it was just so easy to scratch the games back then. And like I said, it was just because it's the black backing. I don't know if that helped it, if that hurt it, or what. It was nothing to scratch up those games.
And those were CDs, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
and it was PS2 had the DVDs?
Yes.
And then 3 had the Blu-rays.
And 3 had the Blu-rays, right.
And 4 still has Blu-rays. Because for some reason, PS4 will not play 4K Blu-rays.
Yeah.
Even though they own Blu-ray. Xbox One X will play 4K Blu-rays.
That's crazy. And they'll even talk about how the 4 will do 60 frames per second, but it's like some kind of convoluted way of doing it. It's not like a true 4K or something.
Yeah, you have to give up something for it.
Right. So anyway, I don't know how we got on that topic, but going back to the CDs though, you could actually take at least the original PlayStation disc and put it in a CD player. Do you remember those?
Oh yeah.
And you could, it had tracks on it. That's how they stored the music. Obviously, was within the CD.
I remember that.
So you could take the disc out and put it in a CD player, just listen to the music from the game.
So that was a cool idea.
Yeah,
Because we did not go far without our CD players back then.
No, we didn't. I remember, gosh almighty, just finding a CD and a game CD and putting it on repeat. Now, forever and ever, I always wanted like WWF Warzone and WWF Attitude, the really, really crappy Acclaim wrestling games.
Yeah.
To have the music themes as songs on the disc, and it never did. It had like just the other tracks within the game, the actual game tracks, not the wrestling tracks. So,
God, we would have our CD books.
yeah,
we would have to go get batteries. We didn't want to get them at the dollar store because those batteries sucked.
No, they last about 30 minutes to an hour.
Oh,
you had to get
less
more.
than that. I remember one time going on a trip, we didn't get down my driveway, and my CD player quit.
You know what I'm reminded of right now as you talk about CD players quitting?
What's that?
Hurley from Lost,
Oh, yeah.
where he had that CD player,
The batteries,
and all of a sudden the
finally ran out.
batteries went down, and he goes, crap.
Yeah.
And the episode ends. That's funny. Dude, we rabbit trailed again.
Yeah, we have. We should probably take a little break.
Yeah, let's take a break, recoup. I have no idea. Like, I don't think the music on this game was all that great, so you may or may not.
But there was some pretty cool music.
It's like 70s music.
We'll come up with something.
Yeah, we'll come up with something. So anyway, we'll be right back after these messages. So full disclosure, Hammy and I never played this game because we couldn't get past the beginning part where you had to do all the different what do you call them? It's not even missions. The
moves.
Well, I guess the moves.
Little tricks. No, we did get past it. We're kidding.
Yeah, we're kidding. We did say
we almost didn't.
We almost didn't though. Like it
Holy
took us
cow.
a minute just to kind of get back used to the.
Like, what all have you got to do on that?
Okay, so there is the burnout.
Yeah.
There's the handbrake, speed test, brake test, 180, 360, a lap,
reverse 180,
and the
slalom.
Slalom.
Which, if you didn't know what that was, you're not getting past that.
No. It took me a very, very long time. I don't remember how I found out what that was.
That was before the internet. You couldn't just Google, what's a slalom?
Yeah. So.
May have been in the manual.
Maybe. I don't know.
Do you have the manual?
No, I don't. It seems like maybe in the demo that it had that, and it kind of showed you what it was. But yeah, you can't even start the game without doing it.
That was rough because you have a minute to do it. You can only hit stuff, 4 times?
4 times.
No, on the 4th one you failed.
Oh, that's true. So, 4 times.
Wow.
So, yeah, if you really didn't know how to throw some combos in there, like you had to do a burnout and do a break, and then as soon as you did the break, go right into your lap and your slalom, and because those two took the longest.
Yeah.
And then when you come out of it, you could kind of do everything else pretty quick.
And you're in the little parking garage the whole time.
Right, you're in a parking garage.
While some guy complains.
So basically, there's 2 columns of 4 columns. I'm trying to think about how I want to say that, but that's right. So it's 2 columns of 4 columns, and there's 3 parking areas.
Oh, dog, I heard you like columns.
I don't like.
So here's a column about columns.
So yeah, there's not a lot of room, and of course there's other cars parked down there too. And I guess you're doing this for 2 guys that are in the car with you because there's 2 different voices. So like one of them's like, "Hey man, watch the paint job," and the other's going, "Whoa!"
Yeah, well, those
sounds like Quagmire.
Were those other cops?
No, you were.
So you're the only undercover,
right? The game starts out, and you are a cop, and the lieutenant is telling you how you're the best driver that he's got on the force, so you're the only one that can go undercover to do these driving jobs to take down this big boss. Not to be confused with Metal Gear. So what you're doing is you're kind of having a trial run for, I guess, some stooges, the Bebop and Rocksteady of shredders. I don't know where I'm going with that.
Some low level criminals.
Sure. So you're kind of having a trial run, a little tryout or whatnot, and
Trying to get your feet wet in this underworld.
right. So whenever you finally get through this, you show up at your apartment, and I'm using air quotes here. You show up at your apartment, and that's where your menu is. So your menu consists of an answering machine where you get your new jobs from, some car keys, a toolbox for options, and then a door to exit the game.
Well, there's a TV.
And there's a save point. I think that's the TV.
Yeah.
So,
and I pointed out that this plot sounds a lot like the Fast and Furious.
yeah, it kind of does. Fast and Furious come out, what, 01, 02?
Yeah.
So maybe that's where they got a lot of it.
Or we went and saw that.
Yeah. There's no Fast and Furious game, so we probably need to tell this story now.
Yeah.
But we'll save that for a little bit later.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Anyway, we would I lost my train of thought. Anyway, you go into your apartment, again, air quotes, and you go to your answer machine, and the first level you have one message that says, "Hey, we need you to do this bank heist job. We need you to be the driver for it." So you start out the level, and you've got how much time?
You've got 1 minute and 14 seconds.
1 minute and 14 seconds.
Don't get there too early.
Don't get there too early,
Fill your felony meter up.
Well, no, the felony meter was going to fill up anyway.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, we got there with about 25 seconds left.
Yeah.
On the
It's
countdown.
too early.
And it's just like, too early, come back later. Too early, come back later. So we just sat there, and then the next thing you know, the felony meter goes up, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, your felony meter's going up." But the bank robbers come out. You get them to the hideout, and then from there you just kind of progress through the missions. So
get more diverse missions.
Right, and as you go, you end up getting closer and closer to this big overhead boss, and I guess whenever he kind of feels the heat of the cops kind of bearing down on him is whenever he decides he's going to a different location. So you start out in Miami, which is a very square-looking Miami, not very big at all.
It's more like our hometown.
Yeah,
just spread out with ocean,
with more red lights.
Yeah.
So you start out in Miami, and then he hightails it to San Francisco,
mm-hmm.
and then from there he goes to New York.
He's just hitting all points.
And then at the end of the game, spoiler alert, at some point you have to drive a limo that contains the president. And the president is kind of a mixture between Bill Clinton and Richard Nixon. I don't know why that draws the conclusion there, but that's what the president will tell you, like, "You're just very good driving, son." And it just sounds just like Bill Clinton.
What a very interesting plot.
So I guess this guy just ended up with, like, he was going to assassinate the president in New York City, and you just had to get into it. So
still not as convoluted as some Fast and Furious plots.
Well, that's true. But yeah, very simple game. It's just driving. I say it's just driving now.
And it was the first 3D driver, or it was before the GTAs made that switch.
We had kind of talked about this beforehand. GTA 1 and GTA 2 were top-down driving games. They weren't in what they're known for now, that kind of behind, that third person, or even first person for that matter, car driving games, like your Gran Turismos and things like that.
Yeah.
It was just top-down, kind of like the original Zelda or
it's a 2D.
Right. It's a 2D game. Now, you could do a lot of stuff. You could shoot. You could run over hookers just like you can nowadays. There's all that kind of stuff. But as far as the look of it, the way it plays, it wasn't back then what it is now. So this game came out in July of 99. Don't hold me to the month, but it was 99. And I want to say like September, October of 99, GTA 2 came out. And GTA 2 is kind of the redheaded stepchild of the GTA series. Like, everything kind of always happened in Liberty City or Los Santos or wherever. Well, this one's like Anywhereville or something. I mean, something really, really, or Anywhere City. I don't know. So it's kind of the redheaded stepchild. But this is kind of where GTA said, okay, hey, if we're going to keep going with this, we need to steal this. So
GTA style.
Exactly. So that's when number 3 came out the following year or the next year after that. I forget.
It's a huge hit.
And it was a fantastic game, huge hit. And then of course that spawned, your Vice Cities, and then 4, and then 5, and all the little mobile games of San Andreas, all that kind of stuff. So that all kind of came to fruition from this particular game. Now, what this game lacks, if you enjoy the driving part in GTA, just a driving part, not the switching cars, not the shoot 'em up, not running over pedestrians, all that kind of stuff. This is the game for you.
Yeah.
And it was fun. I mean, even though that's quote unquote all you got to do is just drive, it was really fun. And like I said, we really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's still fun.
Yeah. If you can get past the first part.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, this is kind of the precursor to that. So very, very good game. Storyline kind of leaves for, a little bit to be desired, but just from a pure driving standpoint, they introduced weather. This, I think, is really the first time in a game like this, they introduced the weather. So there's day, there's night, there's rain. That's about it, because I don't think they snows in any other places. No Sharknado. Maybe a shark hurricane though. So yeah, obviously when it rains, the road gets real slick, and it's a little bit harder to drive on. One thing that I do want to talk about though is the cops. Dude, the cops in this thing were like kamikazes.
Yeah, they were.
Like if you saw a cop, it's got this little mini map to the bottom right hand of the TV screen when you're playing, and you can kind of see the cop, and the cop's got this kind of white cone that kind of shows where he's looking,
just like the GTA games now.
Exactly. And so if you're going down the road trying to get away and you see the cone pointing away from you, you simply slow down, and eventually either they'll turn off or you'll get to your destination beforehand. If you see one coming towards you though, and he knows that you're, quote unquote, the bad guy. I've said quote unquote too many times already in this. If they find out that you're the bad guy and your failure meter is
somehow they know
got anything true. If your failure meter is at all anywhere up, they're going to come chasing after you. And they don't just chase after you and try to box you in and, pull you from the vehicle, GTA style, but like they will ram your car.
Yeah. And we're not talking like pit maneuver.
No. It's like they will ram it. Like
demolition derby.
Like before we started recording, I got into a situation where there was a car in front. Amy's reaching for the candy corn. There was a situation where.
Keep going.
I know. I did it on purpose so people can hear you chew.
No, there's no noise cancellation. I'll get it out.
Dang it. There was one part where there was a car in front of me, and then a police car came up behind me as well. So they just basically tried to squish me,
Pincer you.
Is it okay? We'll go with that.
Sounds right.
It's sure. And anyway, they ended up damaging my car. So the only three ways that you could, well, the only two ways that you, well, three. The only three ways that you could fail a mission was you run out of time, you do too much damage to your car, or for some reason or another, you roll your car over, which is entirely possible. But, these cars in the game are really heavy. They're all front heavy. I don't want to say this game takes place in the 70s or the 80s, but it kind of feels like it. The music makes it feel like it, and the cars that you have kind of make it feel like it. The cars are these really, really, front heavy, rear wheel drive cars that when you try to take a turn, it tries to, the back end tries to come away from you as you're doing a sharp turn or whatnot. I feel like I'm talking way too much. Keep going. You go now, as you shove candy corn in your mouth.
Well, I remember, like you said, when I borrowed this game from you, I didn't really play the missions. I just wanted to drive around.
Yeah.
I don't remember that part at the beginning. I think I probably had your save.
Well, that was the thing, because you were asking if we had a save card, so we could just skip this because this was just ridiculous. And
it's
you said,
hard.
And you said you're going to blast this game because of it, and rightfully so. There's a lot of people that either hated this game or never got real far into this game because they couldn't beat that first little part. Because you got to do everything that you have to do in the game.
What gives me the most? Slalom. What's that? I still don't know. I don't use that word in normal everyday use.
No, I call it figure eight around the cones.
Around the cones, around the columns.
Yeah.
But
because I think you had to do something along the same lines on Driver 2. Like I think it was like a stunt man kind of thing where you had to go. Like when you did the 360 or the 180, you had to. Amy's leaning away from the microphone and chewing.
So good.
I do love candy corn. Everybody gives candy corn a bad rep, but it's the number one selling candy during Halloween time in Alabama.
Yeah, those people need to shut their mouths. Take some candy corn, mix it with peanuts.
Nice.
Where's your stance on Peeps?
I'm just kind of okay on Peeps.
Yeah.
I'm just it's marshmallow
glitter covered.
sugar.
Yeah, glitter covered marshmallows.
So, I used to love them as a kid. I guess maybe that's what it was. I just eat too many as a kid. That stuff and they get stuck right here.
The melt gets stuck together.
Oh gosh, so disgusting too.
But no, to be a game like you said, it's such a trendsetter because GTA followed it. You got stuff like Saints Row, Simpsons Hit and Run.
Yep.
All these other driving games.
Gran Turismo. I want to say Gran Turismo 2 came out after this game. So, Gran Turismo has always been kind of that big go-to driving game for PlayStation. And I want to say, is it Demolition Derby and Demolition Derby 2 that Reflections? Give me that pumpkin. I want that pumpkin.
There's one in here. I'll leave it for you.
Okay. No, you won't.
Yeah, probably.
Reflections is the developer of this game, and I think it's Demolition Derby and Demolition Derby 2 that they did, and they never did a third one because they started doing this game. So it's very hard not to compare this game to GTA because you look at it and you think, oh man, this is GTA.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even though Driver was kind of the trendsetter for this. Whenever GTA 3 came out, and then subsequently Vice City and San Andreas, how popular they were, Driver started trying to copy the mold a little bit. I can't remember Driver 2 having the shooter levels, but I remember the other ones, Driver 3, Driver 76, and there was one more, and the name escapes me right now. They all kind of started going that way.
Well, I know
like
Driver
kind of
2
shooting out of the car at least.
Yeah, Driver 2 I played a whole heck of a lot too.
See, it had 2 discs, did it not?
Maybe. I don't remember so well.
It seems like I rented it from Blockbuster back in the day. But see, the only thing I remember about it, I do remember playing it. I don't remember anything specific because I played it with a Game Shark. Yes, a Game Shark back in the day. And it would glitch the game out. Like, I'd get so far, and then I'd have a save file because I advanced in the game, and then when I tried to play it without the Game Shark, it just glitched it out. So,
but it's weird because PlayStation or PS1 had these awesome games like Driver, Siphon Filter that felt like they were trendsetters. Like they're ahead of their time,
right?
And they just kind of fizzled out. They didn't really do anything with them.
Well, I don't know if it's so much that the franchise fizzled out as much as whenever it transferred over to PlayStation 2, the popularity just didn't. Like you said, Siphon Filter. How great was Siphon Filter in 1? I know you probably never played 2 or 3, but just the story behind it and everything, you were very intrigued with it. Mm-hmm. Well, when it got a PlayStation 2, man, it just flopped. It's like either people forgot about it or they got burnt out on it.
Maybe they just didn't evolve.
Maybe they tried to put out the exact same game with just a little bit better graphics, and it just failed.
But Driver, like you said, shot itself in the foot. All right, it set the standard that GTA copied, and then it turned around and tried to copy it.
Right.
I feel like that happened to Halo. Halo set a standard for multiplayer, and Call of Duty came along, and then inspired by Halo, and then Halo tried to copy Call of Duty,
which is why I'm kind of afraid that Halo is going to try to copy the battle royale side of things. Because
I hope not.
I hope not. Like, I'll end up with the new Halo Infinite whenever it comes out. I'll play it. I'll more than likely love it. Just
means you have to get the new Xbox.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. But, I'll more than likely, play it and probably like a lot about it. But when it goes to the multiplayer, if I do the multiplayer at all, it'll be Slayer. It'll be team organized. It won't be like I might would do Lone Wolf, the old school Lone Wolf, one-on-one, the 6, I think. Is it not?
Free for all, yeah.
There you go, free for all. There's no way I do 1 versus 100.
That would take forever.
I don't think so much. I mean, if they do the same concept of the storm and everybody's got to get closer.
Yeah, it's just getting old, man. And it's
well, I mean, that's why Fortnite's not the number 1 game right now.
Yeah, Minecraft.
Minecraft has made a surge again. Go figure.
It's back.
It never left. So, anyway, what did you think about the game? I mean, particularly Hammy. I mean, I know we loved it.
Oh yeah, I mean, and back in the day, like I said, I was in love with this game, and playing it now, man.
The graphics don't hold up near as well. Like, it's that traditional PlayStation graphics where it can only load so much in the foreground, and as you drive, you kind of see it just morph out of nowhere and come up.
just pop up.
You know, and it got a little better in PlayStation 2, and of course, it got a lot better in PlayStation 3. Graphically, it may not hold up as well, but I mean, given what it was doing with what it was on, I thought it did a good job, especially at the time.
And you know, honestly, graphics. I mean, at first, it's like, oh wow, these are terrible,
right?
But you get used to them very quickly.
Well, you get used to them, and then you kind of have to put that consideration of how many polygons or pixels or bits.
Good gameplay can erase outdated graphics.
Not a great story though. If you just purely want a driving game that's not a racing game, sure.
Yeah, and it's like this is probably one of the first that wasn't a racing game, but no, back in the day, I loved it, and today,
I just like it.
Yeah, I like it. And you know,
that first part, I could see where it give me a lot of issues way back in the day. But
if we were on a retro game night, I would say yes if you had a save
file.
Getting through that parking garage sucked.
Well,
that was terrible.
You got to look at it this way too. If we haven't picked this game up in 99, say 20. Well, we picked it up and we played around with it one day, but
yeah, probably 2000, 2001.
Sure. Well, I mean, we did it the other day when we started getting everything here in the new luxurious ham and spam suite.
Yes. Lavish facilities.
I don't know so much lavish. We threw a fresh coat of paint and got a new holder for all of our games and stuff. But
that delicious candle behind you.
Yeah. Well, I'm more worried about the candy corn, but
you should be.
Yeah, we kind of put it in and played it, and I did get through that training stage. But if you think about it, if you pick this game up 20 years from now, which Lord help us, I hope no one's playing this game 20 years from now, you got to know how to do all this stuff. So it's a button control introduction. Maybe do without the moves. Just, you have your typical push X to go, or in PlayStations, you push cross to go.
Honestly, if they didn't have the time limit on that intro part, it wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, but what would happen if you got to a point to where, you had to really focus on what's a salome or whatever that was called?
Well, nowadays you'd Google it.
Nowadays you would Google it, but
back then, Mom, Dad, what's a salome?
I don't know. We're from Alabama.
Yeah.
You need to go to church.
It's a delicious sandwich meat that you have to slice.
Oh, no. That's salmon.
That's salami.
So yeah, I liked it on the replay. I didn't necessarily love it. I loved it back in the day. Played the mess out of it. It's good for a retro game night, even without a save file, because the first levels are super easy. Nothing spectacular, But now in 2019, I don't think this is a game that you just want to sit down and just beat.
It'd be hard to.
Yeah, and I love how. There was one level where we had to get a hot car, a stolen car. So we get to this garage, and this little block figurine that is supposed to be your character walks into a house, and you go to the next mission, and you're in this different car. It's the same car, but it's different because it's just a new paint job.
Yeah.
Like all the cars are the exact same. Like there's no trucks, there's no motorcycles, there's
no variety.
No variety at all. So, again.
But that was fun then because we didn't know.
Limitations, sure. So, anyway, well,
you think maybe we're spoiled now?
I don't want to say that we're spoiled now, as much as you can see where some improvements could be made, but you have to ask the additional question of could they make them on this system?
Yeah, they were limited.
They were very limited. I mean, that's 32-bit system, right? PlayStation's 32.
Yeah, 32.
Yeah.
just like the Sega Saturn.
And a Sega 32X. Well.
And what was the other one?
The Neo Geo.
No, the one that Sega was going to have, but they didn't release. Neptune.
That's what it was. Neptune. Sega made some very bad choices.
We just sometimes we just need to do a history, like some history episodes on the history of like Super. And on the Sega, maybe something special on the console war.
Maybe. I know we had kind of talked about that. That'd be kind of neat.
Because that is very interesting. It's how Sega shot themselves in the foot.
Dude.
Over and over and over.
But we were stupid. Well, the general audience was stupid enough to keep giving them second and third and fourth and fifth chances. Thank God for the Dreamcast. It just killed it.
Which wasn't a bad system. Kind of a precursor to the Xbox.
Sure. But still, if I'm not mistaken, I think, was it the Saturn or the Dreamcast that they debuted at E3 and had 0 games for it because they surprise debuted it?
I think it was Saturn.
It might have been.
I could be wrong.
It might have been the Saturn, but they were at an E3 and they were developing it and everybody knew they were developing it, but all of a sudden they just pulled the curtain back and says, "Hey, check out our new game system. It's available now." And everybody's like, "What? We don't even have a game for it yet." Like,
neither do we.
Yeah. So anyway, all right, so that's Driver. Let's take another quick break and we'll come back, wrap up the show.
All right, Clint.
Hey, all this candy corn's making my mouth dry.
Well, these pretzels are making me thirsty.
All this delicious honey that's all over these candy corn.
Well, Clint, I have a question for you.
Great. This is my favorite part.
Do you have a story to end out the episode?
Yeah, we teased this a little bit ago. So, Hammy brought up how Fast and the Furious is how do I say this? The Fast and the Furious storyline might have been loosely based upon this game.
Yeah.
And then he mentioned how we went and saw the movie in theaters.
Oh, wow. That was quite a trip.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to have to interject a few things because we both have memories of this.
Yeah. Well, feel free because I feel like I've taught this entire episode.
First and foremost,
okay,
is the car we were going in.
Oh, my gosh. So whenever I turned 16, I inherited the family car. The family car was a 1989 Ford Thunderbird.
That was doo-doo brown.
It was doo-doo brown, guys. It is doo-doo brown. Anyway, it didn't have a lick of air in it. It had a tape player.
I'm not getting enough fiber in my diet, doo-doo brown.
And it had this bumper on the front that was a soft bumper. It wasn't even the hard bumper. And it was yellow where it like the paint had started to come off of it. So it's like this big yellow front doo-doo brown.
It was the piece of corn sticking out of the doo-doo brown Thunderbird.
It really was. That's what makes it so funny. So, this new movie comes out and it's Fast and the Furious, and all we hear is how great it is, and Amy's like, "Hey, let's go see this movie. Let's go see this new movie." And I'm like, "All right, yeah, sure." So we sit through the 2 hours of Fast and the Furious, and we're having a great time. And we're like, it's like a Friday night, and two 16, 17-year-old bachelors out in the big city of not big city.
Yeah, of just got through watching this charged up movie about street racing
with bumblebee cars and nitrous oxide.
And apparently, it rained while we were in the movie.
Right, because that's imperative to the next part of the story. Hammy says, "Hey, I'm not hungry, but let's go get a snack. Let's go get a Frosty at Wendy's. So we pull into the local Wendy's and we go around to the drive-thru and we order 2 Frosties. So and the guy's like,
no. Before that, we're driving from the theater to Wendy's. We're in street race mode.
Yeah, we are.
So we pull up to a red light with 2 old ladies and the car next to us. And you just look over and rev up your engine. And we slowly take off just a little faster than them.
That's all I was worried about.
Yeah.
Because I was petrified my dad would find out that I'm revving up the family car. So we end up at Wendy's and we go to the drive-through speaker and tell the guy, hey, we want 2 Frosties. He says, okay, it'll be $2.50, $3.
Oh no. He was we got there and the intercom was broken.
That's what it was.
So
the intercom was broken. So we pulled up the window. He says, hey guys, sorry the intercom's broken. What can I get you? And I look at him and say, we want 2 medium Frosties. And the guy goes, do it, guy. I'm not.
Our Frosty machine's broke. and so Clint looks at him and goes, see ya. Stomps the gas.
It starts spinning.
We're just spinning. We're not going anywhere. You hear, we're just sitting there. We have time to look back up at the guy who's just staring at us, to look back towards the road before it finally catches and takes off.
So here we are, fresh out of a movie. We're frostyless. We have nothing else better to do on a Friday night at this is probably 11:30 at this point. So we're gonna go by one of our buddies' house who lives kind of in the next town over.
Yeah.
And we were gonna go see him. So we go by and notice that all the lights are off because it's 11:30 at night. Most people are into bed by this time. But John lives right next to a railroad track.
Yeah.
So any of y'all that's seen Fast and Furious, there's a scene at the end of the movie where they're trying to jump the tracks and get away from the train real quick. Well, Hammy and I, there's no Hammy and I. It's Clint. Clint decides he's going to kind of reenact this scene, but there's no train, so it's not all that great. So Clint says, "Well, let's go find a train." So Clint takes this 87 doo-doo brown with corn hanging out of it Thunderbird and points it down the railroad tracks. Well, as I turn down the railroad tracks, there's a car that passes me. Well, I don't think anything of it. I'm just, okay, I'm 16, I'm 17, no big deal. Car passes by. Well, I didn't notice at the time, but it had went like maybe a quarter mile down the road and stopped. It was just looking at us. Well, I turned down the railroad tracks and kind of acted like I was going to go down them. And I said, I better not do this. This is going to mess up the car. Dad's going to be even more furious if he finds out I did this. So let me turn around. So right then and there, I'm pointed literally down the railroad tracks. So I back up and essentially do a 3-point turn on the railroad tracks.
It was a very well executed 3-point turn.
I did not run off the road. And it was literally 3 points. It wasn't 4, wasn't 5. By God, it was 3.
I was proud of you.
So we come back out and we're headed south on this road that we're on now. And I passed the car that had passed us. And I look.
He throws on his blue lights.
And it's a freaking cop. And not only is it just a cop, it's the K9 cop. So Officer Simmons gets out of the car and walks up to the car and wants to immediately know if we've been drinking because we sit there and watch us turn down these railroad tracks.
No, sir, we're just idiots.
And I tried to sell it that I was like, we were coming by, we were going to see if our buddy's home, and he wasn't, and I didn't want to shine the lights in his house, so I decided to do a 3-point turn. He says, on the railroad tracks? I said, well, there wasn't a train coming. It was okay. He said, why don't you just go like 20 more feet and use this turnaround right here? He's like, nobody's in this house. You could have turned around. So needless to say, Clint got a ticket that night for an improper turn on the railroad tracks. Gosh almighty. And then I had to explain that to my dad, and it was not good.
Less fast, more furious.
Very furious. But Dad ended up talking to, I guess, the town cop, the chief of police or whatever there in that town, and got me off with some community service. So I had to show up to court. I had to plead guilty And then, the chief of police was there, and he said, okay, this guy's going to work off his debt here to the town with
for making a 3-point turn.
For making an illegal 3-point turn.
What kind of debt to the town? What a stupid town.
What a stupid town. That's why we call all their inhabitants British.
Yes.
So anyway, I had to work for the town for I think it was 15 hours of community service. So
15 hours?
Yeah. So it turned into like an 8-hour day, a 6-hour day, and then the remainder.
Oh my gosh.
Well, 8 and 6 is
14.
Okay. So it wasn't 8 and 6. It's like 6 and 6.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Glad I wasn't driving.
Yeah, Hammy got off on that one. But yeah, that's our Fast and Furious story. So anytime we ever mention Fast and Furious and you hear us giggle, this is why we're giggling.
Yeah, because we saw the movie. Didn't get our Frosty. Idiots at Wendy's.
Like idiots at Wendy's tried to drag race some old ladies. And then decided we were going to turn down the railroad tracks.
We learned very quickly that the street race life is not as glamorous as they made it out to be.
No, that night actually. That's
very, very quickly.
So
a lot of adventures in the old Doo-Doo Brown T-Bird. A lot of Taco Bell eating in it.
A lot of Taco Bell, a lot of Waffle House, a lot of skipping class.
Yeah, a lot of running off the road.
A lot of running off the road.
A lot of running into that big pile at the college.
Big pile. Bart. We'll never tell that story again, so we might as well go ahead and tell it too. When we started at the local community college, we weren't going to fight for a parking spot. Everybody was fighting for the parking spot as close to the buildings as they could. So we would park on the very, very backside, like on purpose. Now we had to walk like probably a quarter of a mile to get to the nearest building.
We didn't mind.
But we really didn't mind. We were not as fat and a little bit better shape.
Brandon was with us. Casey was with us.
So we had Brandon. We had Casey.
Alex.
We had Alex. We had Alex's sister. And then me and you.
That was it. That was our gang.
That was it. So there was one day that they had put probably 2 or 3 dump truck loads of bark, of brown tree bark, just over there kind of on the back corner where we actually parked. Of the parking lot. So one day, me being, goofy Clint, decided that I would run my T-Bird, which was mine now at this point, would run the T-Bird into the said pile of bark. So I ran into it about 8 or 9 miles an hour and hit it like full-fledged, and it just stopped. Like there was no like pushing it over. There was nothing like that. So what did Clint do? He gets out of the car and runs and jumps on the hood of the car and runs off the hood and jumps onto the pile of bark. Guys, I was dumb back in the day. Like it's not even funny. And I've got a kid that is almost like 16-year-old me now, and he's only 11, so he hasn't a chance.
He's an advanced version.
Oh my gosh, I'm paying for it right now, boys.
Oh man,
there's a ton of those too. I remember Casey and I literally racing back home from college to go to my house so I could cook spaghetti and we play video games.
Yeah.
And we would like literally bump draft right here on this road right here outside the house. Like he would be going and I'd take the yellow of the Doo-Doo Brown T-Bird and bump the end of his little Toyota pickup truck.
Corn bumping.
And at any point, I could have spun him out and he probably would have been dead. But nope, we didn't think about that. Yeah.
I've seen him take a turn in his truck one time on 2 wheels.
Yeah, I've seen that too. I've seen him also.
Which, speaking of which, can we announce our special bonus episode?
Well, we can. Here's the thing. This is Friday the 13th.
Oh, and a full moon.
And a full moon.
Mm.
So this right here will drop Sunday the 15th.
Yes.
Yeah, if my math is correct. But also that Sunday the 15th, Casey is coming down from his undisclosed location in Huntsville. And he's going to come down.
Known as Rocket City.
Known as the Rocket City. And there I go repeating. I've said, quote unquote,
and you've chewed, but I have to. It's all right.
Yeah, that's a mutual right there.
It is.
Anyway, Casey's coming down, and we're going to do the bonus episode Sunday. We're going to record it. And they're going to edit it because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of editing to do in this episode.
Yeah, it's going to take a few weeks of editing, I think.
So I would ask for last minute questions, but they won't hear this before.
No,
before
they
Sunday,
won't make it in time.
unless we just happen to throw one question in as we're editing, because this will be. We wanted to do this one on. I kind of wanted to do it on 20, but the more I thought about it, it's like, well, 25 is a little bit better show, to give a bonus episode on. Because you start doing one every 10, and it doesn't have the same flavor.
It's true.
So I figure we save it for 25. We did it for 10 because we never thought we'd make it to 10.
Yeah. We were told we wouldn't.
Right. And then now here we are almost to 25. So, wow. That's almost half a year.
But yeah, we'll finally have Casey on the show, who was very instrumental in getting us off the ground.
He was very instrumental in getting us off the ground, and been our biggest cheerleader and our biggest critic all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try not
runs
to
our website.
He does. Let's try not to mention Legend of the Mystical Ninja to him.
But yes,
actually bring it Sunday so he can play it and say, "Wow, this game really." Not that it sucks, but just wow, it doesn't hold up, or it's not as fun as I remember.
It's an acquired and dare I say reacquired taste.
Sure. So maybe he won't give us too much grief for our not so spectacular review back in episode 8, I believe it was.
Way back there.
Wow. You think about it, that's 12 weeks. That's 3 months ago. Wow. You really start putting that in perspective, because we've done one episode a week, every week.
Yeah.
And then we've done one bonus episode in there too.
So we've got, wow.
We're moving it, buddy. We just crossed over 800 listeners, which I will mention all those kind of stats and stuff.
We still haven't heard from Canadian Bacon.
We have not. We're really beginning to wonder if maybe it's someone that has subscribed to the show and their phone automatically downloads it, but yet they don't listen to it. I'm going to be completely honest here too. I've gotten to where I don't re-listen to the show, like because it was new and it was exciting, and now I'm like, I live that. I ain't gonna listen to it again.
Been there, done that.
So yeah, all the numbers here lately are legit, like everybody else, not so much us. I did hear from Colton though. He's going to apparently he couldn't find the show on iTunes, which is weird because it's literally HAM. That face probably HAM space AND space SPAM. That's it. Ham and spam.
H as in hey, it's ham and spam. A as in awesome, ham and spam. M as in my word, it's ham and spam.
Space. That's R as in Robert Lozier.
So he's on the show, or
he said he was going to start with 20 and work his way back.
What?
I don't know. And I did, and I'll give this right here a shout out. There is a website called The Dad that does like a lot of dad jokes and things like that. Well, they also have another group that spawned off on Facebook that is called The Dad Gaming, and it's people. Well, I wouldn't say like you and me. You're not a dad, but it's a lot of people like myself who don't have time to play video games, and they just gripe on there about how little time they had to play video games. But there was a question that had come up about what does everybody else do, either in their spare time or as a for a living that revolves around electronics or technology or anything like that. Well, I posted on there that I hosted a podcast with one of my best friends, about retro gaming. Well, I had a bunch of people reach out and say, "Hey, we're going to give it a listen. We're going to do this." Yeah, it was about 3 or 4.
I apologize in advance.
Well, and one of the guys even offered. He said, "Hey, if y'all do any kind of like guest spots or whatever, I'd love to be on." And I said, we're barely operating where we are now. I wouldn't know how to put you on the phone.
Yeah, we honestly don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, we don't. I could do it if it was like through the computer. I'd have to really research that. Yeah, I guess Skype would work.
Hey, if you know how to do it,
let us know,
please. We would like to have guests. Well,
we tried to do that with the YouTube channel too, and it never came to fruition.
I forgot about that.
Our YouTube channel, it's a thing. It's just our podcast on YouTube right now, though.
We'll get it running eventually.
Yeah, even if we just got to film the.
I'm just going to quit my job and do this full time.
I would in a heartbeat if it would actually make money.
Yeah. Now I'll need compensation for that.
Yeah, well, you could always sell your body on the street corner.
If I did that, I'd charge by the pound.
What are you
Retire
gonna do?
on the spot.
What? What are you gonna do if somebody says, "Yeah, I just want like 3 pounds"? All or nothing.
Yeah, all or nothing.
So
This is not a buffet.
really looking forward to the bonus episode. Jeff submitted quite a few questions. Casey's got a question. I've got a question.
I think Jeff submitted enough. I think Jeff and Jeremy both have deserved nicknames.
You know what? That's what we're going to do in the bonus episode. We're going to give them nicknames, and we're going to keep calling Casey Baloney just to make him mad.
Yes. Sometimes Bologna.
Bologna. I don't have Jeremy's questions because I think you said he texted them to you.
Oh, yeah.
I've got Jeff's questions.
I'll find them. If I can't find them, I'll hit him up again for
okay,
them.
that's cool. So yeah, the bonus episode coming up. Looking forward to it. I really am. Looking forward to be online on the air with Casey. And my question actually deals more with me and Casey than it does you, so you can probably take a nap during that one.
I planned on it.
So guys, listen for the bonus episode coming up on episode 25. As always, you can find us online.
Yes.
hamandspam.com. Hit us up on social media. Canadian Bacon, we're looking for you, buddy.
Yeah, still waiting.
Would love to. Hey, maybe that could be our first live guest is Canadian Bacon. Well, not live guest, through the phone guest. You know what I just thought of? If we have a phone call with Canadian Bacon, it's going to turn out like the Australia episodes of The Simpsons.
We're going to be banned from Canada sometime. To go up there, the Mounties are going to come after us.
Well, it's highly possible, but so yeah, looking forward to that with Casey. We got a lot of stuff we'd like to do. We just right now we got to find the time. We're full fledged in football season right now. We got a game tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central Time. Then Mays plays at 7 p.m. Central Time. So just got a lot going on right now.
I'll be playing the hunter called the Wild.
Brandon said that he might be here. Turkey said he might be here tomorrow or Sunday. So that's a possibility. If that's the case, we're going to have to find some more chairs in this little bitty small room. Yeah. Hey, let's get it all the way finished first. We need to post a picture of this. I like this.
I'm digging it, man. I'm really digging it.
It's made a big difference. It really has, because it's allowed me to just simply play all these different systems.
Anytime you want.
It's made a big, huge difference. You know, there for the beginning, it was 2 days worth of trying to find the system and then try to find the game and then get it hooked up just so we could play it. But the way it's set up right now, all I've got to do is just push the power button and it's on.
By the way, I think it's probably time to end because I think I hear your wife threatening us.
Yeah, she's hollering that she wants to go get some was it fried rice? Is that what she's hollering for?
Rice.
So we'll probably go hit up the sushi restaurant here in just a little bit.
Yes.
But anyway, hit us up, social media, hamandspam.com. Leave us a review wherever you listen to this at. We'd love to hear.
I'm about to devastate the sushi ecosystem like an oil spill.
End it. Thanks, guys.
Bob's Big Buicks.
If you need a getaway car for a bank heist or drive-by or flee the state, come on down to Bob's Big Buicks. Our Buicks are huge.
Bob's Big Buicks.
Seriously, folks, you can fit a getaway car inside of another getaway car. You'll own the road.
Bob's Big Buicks.
Come on down and see us at our new location, right beside our old location. Hurry before the fuzz shuts us down.
Bob's Big Buicks.